Hello YouTube, this is your boy, the Passport Bro Wingman, coming at you again with another video. And today, this video is going to be to address something I saw on YouTube recently. And the title of this video is pretty much called, What do Passport Bros have to say about the guy who stabbed to death his girlfriend in China? And the reason this video came about is because I was watching a news article and there was some commentary on it by, a couple YouTubers. And the way they kind of painted this picture, it was a way to kind of smear the Passport Bros, trying to make it seem as if we're all domestic abusers, saying things like, oh, well, y'all need to tell your Passport Bros, don't abuse women in these countries, the laws are not the same. And while they might not have meant anything about it, for the most part, they said it was a bad look for us and that kind of thing. And my whole thing is this, and I really wanted to address this because I see the angle that some of our naysayers kind of use this on, trying to say that, pretty much for the most part that we're just domestic abusers. We're going over there to either abuse women domestically or harm them in some way, and this is just very dishonest, So they grab some random news article, some random idiot in China harmed his girlfriend, and as a result, they're going to try to make a blanket statement like that. We're all like that and that kind of thing. So I just wanted to kind of address that a little bit. I actually look up some stats on a few things as well, because I kind of wanted to address this. But let me say this. In almost every country, it doesn't really matter. Every country, every race, you're going to have a segment of men that just like, either commit crime or have the... or might unfortunately engage into some type of domestic violence or something like that. This is not exclusively to like men who travel, which is just ridiculous. So I just wanted to discuss, bring up a few stats. For example, just recently there was a I think it was an OnlyFans model who had just murdered her, wound up murdering her boyfriend for whatever reason in the United States. It would be very dishonest of me to say that, all the women in the United States, because this one random woman did that, you need to watch out for them because, they're going to abuse you and they're going to harm you, then eventually kill you, so you need to avoid them. I would never say anything like that because it would just be stupid and dishonest. And it's kind of like cherry picking, cherry picking news articles. So same thing here. Because, okay, so for one rant, and the thing is, I don't even want to necessarily consider him a passport bro. He's just a guy who's traveling or something like that. I believe he was over in the country, had been over there for a while. He was dating one of the women, and then of course he just became like abusive. Who knows? He probably could have had this track record in the United States where he's from. But I say that to say that I think it's very so one bad article in comparison to all the other good articles about Western men dating Western women, dating foreign women, and for example, we have a 80% success rate. Did you know in the United States, if you were to marry a foreigner, the success rate is 80% versus the United States, I believe, is about 52%. So we actually have a higher success rate, which just tells you how that coupling of Western man with a foreign woman, it just works. So we have an 80% success rate versus the United States. If you dated American as a man, you have only a 52% rate of it actually working out. In addition to that, if you really want to go to it, I was actually looking at the stat I kind of have here, which is done by the Thomson Reuters Foundation survey. It has they had about 550 different experts looking at women's issues. The United States actually was rated the 10th worst country for women, based upon this study. And they were saying things which I don't necessarily agree for. They were trying to say, which is just outrageous. They're trying to say 1 in 5 women in the United States is raped, which I think is a bit of over exaggeration. Because then we have to define what do you mean by rape. It might be something that's like, they might say if you were with a woman, she has a drink. Later on, y'all go to your place. Even if it's consensual, because she had drunk, that's rape. It might be something like that. But either way, I only bring this up to say that they're trying to say that United States is the 10th worst country for women in regards to domestic abuse. Now, I say that to say this. if passport bros, if we're so abusive, think about this. If passport bros are in other countries, we're not in the U.S., you have to ask yourself, then who is doing all this abuse? Who's doing all the abuse? It's the non-passport bros, correct? So they're the ones that is creating this culture in the United States that has made the United States the 10th worst for women. So, I mean, because the way they try to paint this whole article is that passport bros are more violent, more abusive women than the other men in the country, trying to say that that's the reason why they're successful with the women in the country, because they're not abusive and violent like the passport bros. But again, passport bros, if we're not in the country and we're dating foreign women, only people that's left are non-passport bros, but the United States has the 10th highest, is the 10th worst country in regards to domestic violence. And just based on what I said, that would be non-passport bros. So can you really say that passport bros are more violent than any other type of man? You can't really make that argument. And just to say this, to be fair, I don't believe that American men are this violent and abusive, and it's just this whole state of women need to be careful of American men. It's just ridiculous. This feeds into, because again, they talked about 550 experts. I'm assuming a lot of these are probably feminists, in my opinion. A lot of these were feminists, and I would really like to go deeper and just look at how they were coming about with these statistics. It's just really, I don't believe 1 in 5 women are raped. I don't necessarily believe that. I have to look more into that. I believe Myron on Fresh and Fit had actually debunked a statistic that was similar to this, where they were trying to say on college campuses they had this ridiculous rate of how many women were raped or something like that. And again, and let me say this, I hate to say this because we're on YouTube. Nobody, put it this way, no woman should be abused, no woman should be raped. You shouldn't, no means no for the most part. Let me just say it like that, Shouldn't have to really say that, but I don't want people to take this video and take it to mean something that no woman should be abused. We don't want any harm to happen to any woman. All women should be protected. All of that. I'm gonna leave it at that. So I just really wanted to bring up this article to just bring this to all of the awareness of all the men who travel, that there is potentially a smear campaign that could come about where they're trying to say these things about us, which is just not true. As I said before, 80% success rate. Passport bros traveling, American men, they've given the American men who don't travel, who are dating these women, the Chads, the Brads, the Tyrones, who are dating these women, they're basically saying that out of all the groups of men, they have the 10th worst profile when it comes to dating women. They're trying to say they're mostly abusers. Like out of all the countries, I believe it's about 250 countries, we're like the 10th worst. That's pretty bad. And compare when you, and I actually don't believe it, because I just know in these other countries that a lot of times men put their hands on women there. There's no police charges, that kind of thing. So in many cases, I'm thinking that some of these women don't actually report some of the domestic abuse. But I'm gonna leave it at that, and I'm gonna leave it to all my subscribers and all the people listening. Just tell me what you think in the comments about this whole article. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find a link and put it at the bottom. But tell me what you think about it. Leave some comments. Hit the thumbs up button. Hit the notification bell, and subscribe to my channel. And until next time, this is your Passport Bro Wingman signing off.